tonight, Thursday Night Football, of course, a big game.
Yeah.
A big game, especially
a big game with two bad
Cowboys.
teams.
Right, especially for the Cowboys. But I want us to start here. I'm going to keep it. I don't want to overreact. I know this is just game number 4, right? The Cowboys are 1-2. But, Kelvin, I'm going to say this straight up. If the Cowboys lose tonight to the pathetic New York Football Giants, Mike McCarthy should be fired. And I'm talking about at some point this season, if this continues, or at least at the end of the year. This cannot happen with 3 weeks in a row. Remember, they have won 16 straight home games. They've been blown out 3 straight times at home. Now, this is a road game. It's against a division rival. I get all that. But Dak Prescott has owned the New York Giants.
Facts.
Okay? Beaten them 12 straight times. The Cowboys have beaten them 7 straight times, right? The Giants have Daniel Jones, one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, what else do we need to stack up? If you're the Cowboys, you cannot, N-O-T, afford to lose this game. And I know people would say, it's only week 4, it doesn't matter. No, this is a cookie. The Giants are the general hospital of the NFL. When you go there, you get well. You got to go there and get well. This is a make me right game.
Okay, but let me say this. What if I'm going there to get well, but I'm like chronically ill? What if I'm severely ill? And I think the Cowboys are more ill than we think. Then we get the one win they have, we want to kind of prop them up a little bit. Or maybe the fact they only beat the Ravens or lost to the Ravens by 3, when, as we mentioned, those were kind of garbage points. And yes, Dak looked better towards the end of that game. But at the end of the day, this team they stink. And I think we're trying to like put potpourri on them or find ways to say they should win this game. They should. I don't know that the Dallas Cowboys should beat anybody. And I mean that seriously.
And you're talking about the New York Giants?
I'm saying anybody. Why are they just better than the Giants is what I'm saying. When the Giants aren't great, but nor are the Cowboys.
But here's the part.
Historically, I get what you're saying. Dak has beaten them 12 straight. Okay,
and which is unbelievable when you think about this. Usually a division rival, you don't dominate them like that.
Facts. It doesn't matter,
it doesn't matter what the record
Yep.
it is. Usually somebody will win a game because it's just a divisional game. And so that's the scary part, is that they've been able to dominate the Giants for such a long time. 12 straight times is a lot.
Unheard. Well, wouldn't it be scary then that the Giants are due one? I mean, because you bring up a great point. It doesn't matter how often one team's, 12-3 on the season, but they go up. I mean, you see it all the time in the AFC North. You see it all the time. You see it in the AFC West a lot of times where like teams like, well, how'd they beat them? It's just divisional. It happens all the time. So I understand what you're saying. I think they have the bigger names. I think they've had the better record over the last few seasons. Mike McCarthy, who you want to get rid of, is 125 and 77. I'm sorry, that's what the he's 42 and 25 with the Cowboys.
He's won 13 games in a row, 3 years in a row. But guess what they got in the postseason to show for that?
I agree with that. So my only argument with what you're saying, Rob Parker, is the idea of letting him go simply because of this game. If at the end of the season,
this game would be coupled with the last 2 to say that you've lost 3 in a row. And especially to the piss poor New York Football Giants. That's my. This is your game to get better.
It is.
This is
your
bounce back. This is your bounce back
and
game.
I'm with you, but man, I'm just saying the team is not as great. They cannot run the ball. They cannot stop the run. Their offense, we don't necessarily fully know what it is because they keep finding themselves behind when then they kind of have to abort the normal offensive scheme, if you will. So I'm just simply saying, going into this game, yes, their favorite, I think it was like 5.5 or something.
That's now normally, it's a 3-point.
Yeah.
The home team is usually a 3-point favorite. All right. Then the road team, they're 5.5-point favorite. So that's like an 8.5-point swing.
Right. And
it tells you what they think about the Giants, especially when you talk about the Cowboys coming off back-to-back blowouts at home.
But does this also, do you say with the Giants, did they find some magic, if you will? Did they find something about it? They were down the whole game, able to find a way to come back and get that win. You look at Neighbors, I mean, amazing. he's living up to the hype for sure. 3 touchdowns, jumping over everybody. Randy mossing people. He's mossing people up. So maybe the Giants, too, have found something to get right and can turn the corner. So I think this will be a bad loss for the Cowboys. I'm with you, but I don't think it'll be a horrible loss in that I just don't think the Cowboys are that good. It will be a horrible loss for the Chiefs. It will be a horrible loss, for the Vikings now.
No, but I'll give you more ammo to tell you how bad it would be. Daniel Jones has the worst primetime record amongst quarterbacks with 10 starts, 10-plus starts since 1970. Guess what his record is in primetime games? 1-12. 8 of those 12 losses were by double digits, and 4 were by at least 20. You see what I'm egging it on. I'm putting on all of the numbers to tell you how much of an overwhelming favorite the Cowboys should be in this game. And for the Cowboys, they currently have the highest paid quarterback. Mm-hmm. They have the second highest paid wide receiver, and soon to be the highest paid defensive player. And you mean to tell me that with all these numbers and the bad New York football Giants, or even on the road, you're not going to get well against this team? If you don't, then there should be red flags about your season. And who are you going to be?
And I think there are red flags for me already. I think there's still time for them to find something to get right, but I just don't think they're a great team. But absolutely, this would be a bad loss. And it starts, again, the larger picture with the Cowboys is, why do we continue to have these amazing expectations when they haven't really shown us anything? I think it's fair for a team to say,
I won 13 games the last 3 years.
Right, but
they won 16 straight home games.
But we talk about ultimately what they've created is, what have you done in the postseason as far as getting to a Super Bowl, getting to a championship game? So my thing is, the Chiefs have shown me this is what they do. The 49ers have shown me this is what they do. They get to a championship game. They get to a Super Bowl. They've done it with Jimmy G. They're doing it with Brock Purdy. So I'm saying we might need to just start bringing the Cowboys way down in the conversation of these huge aspirations until they show us something. So right now on the TV, as they're getting ready for this game, they got Micah Parsons, who is getting, you and I have talked about. He's called people out, called the team out, saying we got to come together, saying you need to be accountable to yourself. I shouldn't have to get you guys ready. So I need him to show up. Yeah, I need him to show up. You mentioned Daniel Jones has been extremely terrible in primetime games. Well, Micah Parsons, that's 2.5 sacks you need and 2 tackles for a loss and maybe a forced fumble. I need a big-time game from you because he's been talking a lot, saying a lot. We're holding him up high, the next LT, the next that. Micah Parsons is one of those people. I'm going to need you to show up too. But so, yeah, this is it's early to say a must-win, but you go down 1-3, now and you're losing, you're 1-3, and especially considering what other teams are, the couple of surprise teams in the conference, that might be a wrap for the Cowboys.
No doubt.